One of the peak moments of virtually every morning and evening service that we do is the Shema Yisrael. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. It has become a watchword in Jewish life. Ideally, it's the last thing you think as you're going to sleep at night. It's the last thing that a Jew is supposed to enunciate as they're passing away. And so, obviously, it's a very, very significant passage in the prayer book, a very significant thought and experience in Jewish life. But what I wanted to talk about today is something that precedes the Shema in the prayer book. In the morning service, it says, V'havienu l'shalom mi'arba kanfot ha'aretz. Bring us in peace from the four corners of the earth. V'tolichenu kumemiut li'artzenu. And bring us upright into our land. So what does this have to do with the Shema Yisrael? And why should that precede this peak moment in the Jewish service? I think it's because the Shema is a moment of great concentration. And so we talk about gathering up our people from the four corners of the earth as a way of suggesting that in preparation for the Shema, we need to gather up our thoughts from the four corners of the earth. Because we human beings tend to have a very scattered attention, and maybe more these days than ever before, because there is so much to distract us, so many delightful sights and sounds and technological devices that are always bringing us out of ourself. And so we can think of this as a kind of an analogy. Our minds are like a central station with trains arriving and departing all the time, thoughts coming in, thoughts going out. And generally our minds are very, very active. Now, this doesn't seem to be such an unusual thing because almost everyone has a restless mind these days. What's unusual is to meet someone who has a focused mind, whose concentration is able to maintain itself for minutes and perhaps even hours at a time. That's a very rare thing and a precious thing these days. Because it's when the mind is focused that the heart has an opportunity to enjoy and experience love in connection with that focus. Another analogy is that it's like a magnifying glass that is able to focus all the rays of the sun into one concentrated spot, and in a few minutes, maybe even less than that, whatever you're trying to set on fire will burst into fire. Whereas if you don't have a magnifying glass, the sun can shine all day, and there will never be that requisite concentration of light that will cause combustion. So in the same way, in prayer especially, and in saying the Shema in particular, we would like our hearts to be able to combust, to burst into flame, if you will. Obviously not physically, but on the level of feeling, on the level of our experience of prayer in the presence of God. We want our hearts to be able to ignite. And how do we do that? It's by allowing our minds to unite. And to do that, we need to find a way to focus our awareness. It's something that comes with time and practice. But the prayer book is really all about giving us moments and opportunities in order to focus on, among other things, the greatness of God. So ideally, when we're praying, it's not just words on a page, but hopefully the words are able to leap off the page and to ignite our hearts in such a way that prayer can be a truly fulfilling experience. Now, I said before, the mind is like a central station, and trains are going in and trains are going out all the time. We tend to identify with these trains of thought. Again, to use a simple example, maybe someone makes us angry, and so the train that leaves the station in response to that will be an intense feeling of anger, in which we're not just watching this angry thought as a passive observer, but rather we're actually riding that train. We're riding that train of anger, we're identifying with that train of anger. And anger, that anger train, is something that we can ride maybe for 5 seconds or maybe for 5 minutes. Some people stay on that train for a week, a month. Some people stay on that train for a lifetime. So the point is, we don't have to identify so much with our thoughts. There is something that exists behind thought that will actually focus thought, and that being what we can call the witness value of our life. There is something deep inside us that is divine and that is not attached to all the activities and all the thinking and all the perception that we engage in life. And so this little line that precedes the Shema, V'havienu l'shalom mi'arba kanfot ha'aretz, is a plea for us to, at least for a few moments every day, to gather our wits about ourselves, to gather our thoughts together, and to focus on the greatness of God, to focus on that witness value that we carry inside that is really above and beyond the whole of our thinking and our feeling and our action. You may have heard the phrase, "I'm sitting on top of the world." Well, what does that mean exactly? I think it means precisely this, to be situated in the central station without a lot of coming and going of thoughts and feelings and perceptions, certainly without riding that train of anger. Sitting on top of the world as opposed to the world sitting on top of us, which I think so much of the time is the common experience of life. And so when we are able to sit on top of the world, V'havienu l'shalom mi'arba kanfot ha'aretz, when we can gather ourselves from the four corners of all the distractions and disruptions of life and just be calm and silent within, it's at that moment that we can be led komamiyut le'artzenu, when we can be led upright into our holy land. The land of Israel not being just a geographic reality, but something that we carry within, a state of peace and happiness and fulfillment, a true holy land that is the real humanity that we carry within. And so I want to bless you that at least a few moments every day you have the opportunity to gather your thoughts, to be echad, to be one within and one with God in the way that the Shema Yisrael urges us to be, and that we are all able, at least for a few minutes every day, to be led upright into the holy land that we carry within. Again, I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, and I wish that we should be together here at Shaarey Zedek in the very near future. Amen.